Hi everyone, I'm Kyle. I did a video interview with our client Janet. She is a property owner of a rental, and I thought I'd share it with you. Check it out. Well, thanks so much for doing this.
Sure,
It's fun to
of
have you
course.
on.
Yeah.
Janet, why don't you just tell me a little bit about yourself?
Okay.
What are you into? What do you do for work? That type of stuff.
Okay. Well, I'm a pharmacist by training, but I do a lot of I have my own consulting company. So I travel quite a bit to help with pharmacies and hospitals, turn around their operations and whatnot. So
Oh
that's
wow,
what I've been doing for most of my career.
wow, that's pretty cool.
Um, on the side, obviously, my brother and I have kind of dabbled in real estate. We have a couple properties, but we're just kind of novices. But it's been kind of interesting learning experience.
Yeah.
In spare time, also I enjoy hiking and kind of outdoor fitness type activities. Skiing is another one of them.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I enjoy rescuing animals, which I kind of
Oh, no
try to
kidding.
volunteer in my spare time.
What kind of
Um,
animals do you rescue?
like usually, stray animals like cats or dogs mostly.
Yeah,
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 but nothing exotic, but that's kind of what I enjoy doing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. And well, so Janet, you mentioned you started dabbling in real estate. How
Yes.
did you get your first rental property?
Well, kind of by accident. I had my mom's older friend was had a property that I'm currently living in right now, which is a triplex, and he had owned it since the 70s, and he was losing money on it because he hadn't raised the rent, and his mortgage was pretty high for the amount of rent he was collecting.
Yeah.
And he was older, and he wanted to kind of just get rid of it. So I purchased the property from him,
Oh, very
and
cool.
that's how I kind of got into it.
I've been
But
doing this
we
for 10
enjoy it.
years myself, and yeah, it's like the kind of watching where rentals have gone in the last 10 years has been really interesting. Like
Yes.
just watching rents go up has been
Oh yes.
amazing, right?
And yes, yes, and the property values too.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you, Jenna, what made you decide to use a property management company?
Um, well, for just ease of managing the property, since the property that am, I just didn't want to deal with the daily hassles of tenants calling saying, no, their plumbing's backed up and whatnot. And my brother was already using Tawny in the same building. So when I acquired a unit in the same building, he suggested that I give her a call
Okay.
since she's always been really good.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he highly recommended her.
yeah. One of our property managers, great.
Yes,
And then, so okay, so that's how you found our property management company. Is that
yes,
through your referral then?
yes.
Okay, cool. And then just kind of curious, what made you? Is there anything that made you decide, our company versus any other company? Um,
Good question. Honestly, I didn't really shop around. I have
yeah.
um, one of my previous real estate agents here in the Hollywood area where I live
Hmm.
also manages properties, but he said it was kind of far away, so he wasn't really into doing that.
Yeah.
But I also kind of liked your no paper approach where everything's automatic deposited. I do know that the agent here was getting checks dropped at his office, and
Yeah.
when my brother and I were sitting there once, people were dropping checks through the mail slot.
Uh-huh.
So I really like the whole more online or kind of tech approach to how you manage the properties, which is why I thought, okay, that sounds really good. And no papers like being exchanged, no checks are being dropped off at your office or whatnot. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
kind of like that. Um,
Cool.
Plus, my brother was saying that you folks take care of everything. If there's like a letter from the association that Tawny and your company would take care of it for us. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was really nice too.
Okay. Cool. No. Yeah. Thanks. I appreciate the comments. Vacancy time. I mean, I don't know if you recall, but from the time that the property was actually ready to be
Uh
marketed
huh.
to the
Yes.
time that somebody moved in, did that do you remember about the approximate time that that took?
I thought it was really fast. I'm going to say 1 to 2 weeks.
Oh, wow, that's pretty good. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
It almost felt like pretty immediately, like as soon as whatever she used to announce that the unit was available,
yeah,
whatever mechanism that you folks use, I think she identified someone really quickly,
good, good. Yeah,
which was awesome. So the turnaround is really fast.
yeah, it's really important because if the property's sitting vacant and you're just no, you're not making any money, and of course
Yes,
we're not doing anything either, or we're not charging any fees while it's vacant, so we're motivated to
right,
get it rented and everything too.
right,
No,
right, right.
I'm glad it worked out for you.
It did. Sure.
Just kind of curious, um, is there anything about using our property management services that makes your life easier?
Um, yes. Well, not having to deal with the letters from the association and whatnot, because everything's, I think, forwarded to your company now.
Yeah,
That's really nice that I don't have to, in the middle of working or traveling, deal with, an association being upset about something that happened. So
yeah,
that's something that, it's priceless to me. I just don't want to have to deal with that.
yeah, yeah. What do you think's the most painful part of being a landlord?
Tenants, tenants. Um, I guess when things go wrong,
Yeah,
when things go wrong, or the little things, like even if it's plumbing or something's leaking, having to coordinate the plumber to when they're actually going to be there to
yeah,
allow them to, access to the property. It's just all of the logistics that requires time and somebody's presence.
sure.
I can imagine how many, if it were like multiplied by numbers of units. There's no way I could do this by myself. So I would really want somebody like your company to manage the property for me. And I intend to, if we ever purchase a future property, um, acquire your company to do the same thing for us. So,
Oh, well, thank you. No, I really appreciate that.
yeah,
Um,
sure.
yeah, thanks so much for your time. Thanks for doing the call. I really appreciate it. Any
Thanks.
questions that you
Thanks,
have? Any questions
Kyle.
you have for me that I've asked you a bunch of questions.
Oh,
Do you have any questions that
well,
you want to ask me about?
well, I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
It sounds like your staff, your property managers, are doing a lot of work behind the scenes for the owners.
Hmm.
And just having made some calls and asking, so what's happening with this? The homeowners fine and whatnot. Are you sending letters and whatnot? And they had your staff had records of times that they had called or sent letters and what.
Yeah.
That's kind of important for me as the owner,
Yeah.
that you are obviously doing work. So you should get credit for that. And when I see on the tenant or the owner statement monthly,
Yeah.
that it's this fine and it's sitting there, it's not a good reflection of all the work that your staff is doing on the owner's behalf.
Um,
So if just a suggestion, I
yeah.
think that meeting or something to consider, just having all of that like visible to the owner, so that we know, oh wow, they're doing so much for me. I'm really getting value for the fees that I'm paying.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Maybe like, if I'm kind of seeing this right, so maybe some kind of like documentation about like
yes,
the things that we've done, and maybe like posting that
yes,
to your portal, or like, how
yes,
do you envision
yes,
that happening?
yeah, definitely posting it to the owner's portal.
Yeah.
Like, oh, sent this letter. I think that would really be helpful.
No,
Um,
yeah, actually, that's a really good idea. Like, like, yeah, because I mean, that way, there is a lot of things that we do, a lot of things that pop up with the tenants that are just small issues that we
yes,
don't necessarily want to bother you about. And so, we don't want to like bug you or send you an email or call you for every little thing that we do. But if
right.
somehow figure out a way to document that and kind of publish that so you guys can kind of see some of the things, you know, maybe. Thank you
It's
so much.
really nice of you to do that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kyle.
All right, Janet, you have a nice day.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.